It's the Solar One Sci-fi podcast.
Hello, this is episode 185 of the Solar One Sci-fi podcast. I like to talk loudly now because I always sound a bit muffly at the beginning of each episode with the background jingle. So hello! I'm joined once again by Martin Fowler, my faithful co-host, who's trying to light a cigarette. Looks like he's going to burn his t-shirt. I'll keep talking to his lips, otherwise he'll be sort of like muffled as he's trying to say hello to me. There we go. Right, hello Martin, how are you over in London? London town?
I'm very good. I'm filming at the weekend. I've got the scripts done.
Okay.
Scripts
Is this the toilet traveller thing again?
No, it's the Interrogator.
The Interrogator?
Yes, yeah, I'm filming on Saturday, yeah.
Is it something which you can elaborate on, or is it early days?
I can elaborate. Yeah, it's about a victim who they can't break, and somebody brings something in. It's rather comical and breaks him with it.
So he's a victim of a car brick.
No, he's an interrogator. There's a guy. He's in an interrogation room.
Oh, okay.
And he's being interrogated, and they can't break him.
Oh, they can't break him. I thought you said.
Sorry. The greatest thing. You're making me reveal the big
spoiler. No. Look.
Right, I'm off.
I heard my Zoom
podcast.
Zoom made you sound like you said. Zoom made it sound like you was a victim of a car brick. So I wonder whether someone threw a brick at his head.
A car brick.
Well, I don't know. You said car. What did you say?
No. Stop it now. Order.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll look forward to reviewing that.
I've got two friends coming around who are actors.
Okay.
They come around on Saturday. We're filming an interrogation situation.
Okay.
Where somebody is being interrogated for weeks in a room.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Got it.
And they can't break him. He's basically like that to him.
Okay.
Then they call in the ultimate interrogator, and she breaks him through comical means, what you're not expecting.
So it's not going to be like the chain of command with Picard was interrogated with the four lights thing.
It's sort of like that, but something fucking ridiculous at the end that breaks the person, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm pleased.
I'll tell you off air. I'd rather not say it.
No, that's fine. I understand. That's fine. Okay. But, well, look,
you know what I
hope it goes well.
I will tell you, yes.
And obviously...
So I'm doing it on Saturday. That's planned for Saturday. And so I'm quite amped about this. Fucking arson around it library yesterday. I'm not even going to go in the stupidity I had to put up with yesterday.
Why? What's wrong with librarians? They're okay, aren't they?
Well, I went in because I don't have a printer. I'm going to have to buy a fucking printer because I don't really use the printer. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
No, I know. It's 2024 now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big fucking thing. It takes up room.
Yeah.
So I went round to the library. I said, look, can I use your computers? I said, I've got drafts to do the scripts. So you've got to be a member.
You weren't talking about drafts in your house. You were talking about sort of drafts.
No, around the fucking library.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you did clarify. You said it was cold. You said it was cold earlier on. This is why I'm wondering about the drafts.
It is cold, right?
Yeah, go on.
So anyway, he said, oh, you've got to become a member. I said, well, I don't want to become a member. You know, so you can't use computers then. So I decided. I thought, well, I could go ask my friends to use their printers, but it would.
Why am I thinking of the scene from Falling Down where he goes into McDonald's and he says, "Well, I want to have breakfast." He says, "You can't have breakfast. You can only have lunch," and he pulls out a gun. And I'm just seeing that. Except you're talking about drafty houses and stuff, and having a fight with a librarian.
No. Anyway, what happened?
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, I said, well, I'll photocopy. I rewrote it all out and made it look neat. I said, can I photocopy it? So I said, I need 3 copies of each page for the 3 people, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so every page was numbered. So she photocopied like 30 copies or something. Cost me £7.
Okay.
And she forgot to put the number. She didn't photocopy each page number. And it was all a mess. So I went mad with them. And they say, well,
how can the page number
how can I put scripts in order?
How come the page number wasn't showing up in the copy?
Well, I don't know. So anyway, this other woman, I'll give her that. She stood there, and I put it all into order free.
Do you want to advertise this particular library so that
no, I'd rather not, because I have to walk past it every day.
Because I
might need to go in there.
No, 161,000 people. I could actually sort of like get them to say, "Have you seen this librarian in this library? And is she very helpful? And did she have any problems with you?"
I'd just like to say, people, please support your local library. They're a great thing in the community.
I think they normally are. Well,
I'm not. I just got annoyed over the photocopying business. That was it.
She doesn't sound like she was very good at her job.
Please support your local libraries.
But don't support your local librarian that Martin lives.
No, she made a mistake. I was very nice to her, but I was like seething inside. Like, do you understand what I'm doing?
Were you seething? Were you sort of saying, "Well, thank you very much for all your help"?
I was like,
with gritted teeth or something like that.
I mean, she did. This other one, she came out and she did sort out, and I did go back and said thank you so much for that.
Thanks a bunch.
Support your local library.
Yes, they're dying.
And they should be
part of the community. And I'm actually being serious here. It is a shame because libraries have always been an important part of life in respect of gathering information. And now, it's the same as the fact that I always say it's about physical media, where I always used to go to Kingston, where I used to work. I used to go into my local HMV every lunchtime, looking at the CDs, looking at the not Blu-rays, DVDs back then. And of course now it's look online, click on. And it's the same principle with books in respect to looking online.
The police turned up when I was in there.
Why? What have you done?
Because they've got a study area, and after with this girl, she left her bag. She must have gone to the toilet, and somebody nicked it.
It's just a London thing, is it?
Yeah, I was surprised because I'd left all my stuff in there, so I went out.
Oh God!
Outside for a cigarette, thinking, well, nobody's going to do that in a library.
But I mean,
after that, I was taking my.
So obviously, with that, and you with the draft, that librarian was having a bad day, wasn't she? Really?
I think she was.
She probably quit.
I mean, I didn't shout about. I was smiling. I was like pretending to. I was just like saving, but being nice about it. Do you know what I mean? So,
at least you didn't.
I'm sorry about I hope your dog gets better. I'm sorry to.
No. My daughter's got COVID,
and I hope you haven't got it.
No, thank you. I'm being extra careful. Thank you very much. No, she'll be fine. I mean, hopefully. I mean, it's not thought of the same as it was back in the day when it first came out. But it's always a worry for everybody around that could pick it up and obviously have negative effects. But yeah, she hopefully should be fine. And let's just get through it. Right, on that note, shall we? We got a bit of news. Shall we just talk about a couple of things we got?
Yeah, go on then.
All right, so I have seen the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery. I know you haven't yet seen it yet.
Watch it. I've not had time.
No. I know. I'm just saying. I'm just covering myself. It was all right. It's okay.
Okay.
But the Badlands didn't look like the Badlands. I'll just put that there because we saw the Badlands.
You mean like the
remember like the Galactic Barrier didn't look like the Galactic Barrier, but the Badlands, and this is geeky, had these weird funnel things. And we've always seen that whenever we've seen them in DS9.
Is it still yellow? What colour is it?
It's a sort of yellowy orange. It looks like lightning bolts and things inside it. It looks more electrical, and it's just like just fucking put the Badlands on. Why do they keep changing these things? I'm a dork, all right? I like to look at my dorky references from stuff where we saw them back in DS9 and Voyager and stuff. They keep changing it. The episode's okay. I do like this season. I think it's. I still think it's. I think it's losing its speed a bit in the second half, but I think comparatively so with Discovery, which is my least favourite live-action Star Trek series. This will probably at this point, unless it really messes up in the last two, will be the second strongest season of Discovery after season 2. That's the way it's going for the moment. So hopefully they'll be able to sort of like finish it off in a good way. But
I think I prefer to watch 2 episodes together.
Yeah, it's one of those things that rather than
Yeah.
once a week and you lose momentum, binge it. It could
Yeah.
be one. I know
I
you do
think-
that occasionally, and
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think I'd rather cover 2 episodes next week.
Yeah, well, you could do it. I mean,
It's episode 9 this week then?
yeah,
And next
So
week's the final.
it's the last one. This series finale. So not season finale. It's the very last one.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll have to do a review of that as well. The whole series in general. So maybe we can get some people on board.
2
for that.
weeks. I'd put that down for 2 weeks. It makes sense.
Yeah. Although I want to do weird science next week, which I think would be quite a good fun.
What we'll
to
do
review.
with sense next week.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you're not happy with that film you had to watch over a week.
Oh, all right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. No. We are. This is a symbiotic, not relationship. That sounds a bit dodgy. A symbiotic podcast, where we. I'm sorry, not supposed to say that.
Welcome to the Solar One Dating Advice Show with Michael and Martin. You know what I mean?
Hi, Martin. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat came back with episode 3 called Boom. Did he make you go boom with excitement, Martin?
Do you know, I was going to contact you on Sunday after I watched it Sunday night.
Right.
And I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
I was sat there. I know it was on Saturday. I was busy, but
Yeah.
I thought, right, I wasn't excited to really watch it, so I put it on about 9 o'clock. I watched it, and I have to say, I thought it was a superb episode. I know it's had really bad ratings, but it reminded me of his relationship with Rose. I felt that.
There is a parallel. The Ruby Sunday is
Yeah.
reminiscent of Rose. I think people have said that already. And there is a parallel with this series with series 1 of when it came back with Eccleston. I mean, I didn't love it. I liked it. I definitely think it's the strongest episode we've seen in Ncuti Gatwa's era so far. And of course, it was the only one which wasn't written by Russ T. Davies, which is again a sign of.
I like the
how
thing
things
about
are.
the corporation had them all fighting. There were no enemy.
Yeah, which was the whole point.
Just
Why
to keep
are you
so they
doing
could
this?
keep
Just to
selling
keep the,
weapons, yeah.
yeah, I mean that is a good idea. And actually,
Bloody brilliant.
shout out to Malcolm. He actually liked it as well. He couldn't make it this week, but he said he liked the episode very much. And he also said about the corporation thing, about the idea of just trying to make money to sell weapons,
brilliant.
which is why that's really good.
That is very
That was good. Yeah, that's good.
fiction
That's good
writing.
original writing. That is exactly. That's
Yeah.
creative. That is a very, very well thought out idea, and it was done
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
I also
well.
like the AI kind of representations when the actual people die, and they have some sort of AI kind of like what's the word? Ident of who they were in the way of communicating to the next generation or their family or friends.
I felt
It was
sorry
good.
for that little kid though, man. She lost her dad and all that.
Yeah, but then the
Right.
dad seemed to sort of be quite sentient at the end and looked like it could still continue in some form, even though it wasn't actually alive. And then the new companion was in it as well. I can't remember her name. She's also been in Andor. She remember how Jenna Coleman made an early appearance as Clara before she officially started. Well,
She's
did that
the
same
new
thing.
companion.
She's the new one. Yeah, she's the new
right.
one.
Is that
Well,
her then?
whether it's going to be a different character, I think it's going to be the same character. Actually, I've got
Yeah.
the feeling. But yeah, she was fine. There's nothing wrong with
It
that.
was interesting. I mean, there were no like positive outcomes in it, really, because
No.
I
Apart
mean,
from
the
fact
little
that
girl, the little girl lost her dad. She lost her.
she lost that potential boyfriend, kind of thing.
Yeah, potential boyfriend. I mean, there were no like them two walked away from it, and they were left with mess of it.
Yeah.
I know they stopped the war.
Yeah, they did
and
do
The
that.
whole corporate thing, I found that was intriguing. I even liked when they cut back because they were blind.
Yes.
Instead of saving him, they went and because it cost money, they went and did that to him. You know, and I found all this quite interesting.
And there's also this
know.
recurring character, this the actress. She's in every episode as a different person, and I can't remember what she's credited as, but she was the face on the ambulance this week.
Yeah.
Last week she was one of the. Remember the episode where you saw the crew. It was the one with the babies, and you saw the crew. They all looked like they wore Starfleet uniforms, but it wasn't Starfleet. But they looked like it was like that. And she was one of them. She was also Isaac Newton's maid, and she's a recurring. It can't just be that they're using the same actress for the same. There's some weird aspect.
Oh yeah, this all lead into the big bad. I think,
Yeah.
By episode 5, we'll get an inkling of what the big bad is.
Now I have to bring
there'll be a drop.
Now I have to bring up the idea of the ratings, which have been very, very low. Yeah, I've looked at it. So I'll give you a quick reference here. So season 1 or series 14. So episode 1 was 2.6 million. Episode 2 was 2.4 million, and this episode was 2.04 million. They've obviously in the first 2 episodes have now had the iPlayer stats added. And episode 1 in the end was 4 million, and episode 2 was 3.91. These figures are way lower than I think that they envisioned would happen. So I've actually think I have to say this. That next year is the 20th anniversary. I honestly think that Disney are going to pull out after their 2-season commission of funding. I really do, and I think then, and I honestly think that next year would be the 20th anniversary, and I reckon that might be time to sort of think, well, look, we've done 20 years, 15 seasons. Let's have a break and come back in a few years.
Yeah, I could say that because
I can't see this going much. It's dwindling every season. It's getting less and less.
Yeah,
they've got to get to the point where this is just no longer.
Well, it might pick up. I mean, it's. I think the mistake was they started with Space Babies, which were a shit episode.
Yeah, you hated it. I didn't like it.
I was no fan of that.
No, you weren't. You preferred the second
maybe if that had been dropped on last Saturday, that might have worked. And the 2 episodes that were 2 and 3
have been better.
Should have been shown first. I found with episode 3, you got to know him a lot more. As a character, and I quite liked that. He was stuck on that mine for an hour, and it was all about him and her, and then the rest of it was just the story around it. But you were that was a good way to get used to his character, and I have to say the guy has incredible presence. He really does.
I mean, you have to get used to it. I mean, everyone says that.
I think so.
I'm not used to him yet, but I can tell he's got a very positive energy, isn't he, about his character?
Yeah, I was very impressed with him on what I saw on Saturday. If they can keep the writing up to this level, like with this week's episode and stuff, I think they might be able to get the audience back in.
Yeah, but I think what the audience is getting pissed off is with the message every week. I have to say it. It's very.
Well, they want a lot of message in this.
No, but then it wasn't written by him this week, was it? It was Rusty Davis.
I know they had to go to the corporations and stuff, but they did it in a very clever way. That's called good writing. If you want to get a political point across, then write it like that.
Although somebody said that he had an aspect of anti-religion as well, which was quite interesting.
Well, I wondered that. So I didn't
somebody
know
I did see that. I did. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, because when I saw the soldiers, I thought they're all vicars.
Yeah, but they've had that before, haven't they? They've had religious soldiers before in Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I found that interesting. The Anglican regiments and all.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting perspective of.
And I found that was quite interesting.
Yeah. And maybe that was. I think Moffat might have done it the first time round, which is why that element was brought back for this episode. But I think it was good. I wish that Stephen Moffat was writing a few more episodes, or maybe co-writing with Russell T Davies. It's weird, but like I said, it's just that what I'm worried about is that normally with viewing figures for a season, it normally starts off high and it just gets lower and lower and lower, or balances out much lower. We're only into episode 3, and it started off really low already.
I think Chloe did the viewing figures off Disney Plus as well.
Disney Plus don't release that officially.
Oh,
I don't normally
bet they do.
know, but I've been hearing that apparently Disney are really pissed off with the figures over there. But I'm hearing all sorts of things, and we've got no clarification. Is there? You can say, I could say, oh, I've heard. I don't know. You know, I could be pretending.
Well, it's a shame. I mean, I'm not going to judge this until I've seen it all.
No. So, it's only episode 3 out of 8.
It started on a bad episode. It really
That's the important one, because that's when you're going to pull people in.
Yeah.
If they see these talking babies and stuff, and like snot monsters and stuff, it's like, come on.
I think they should have started with this one with Selling Saturn.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because if you'd have used that would give the audience time to, I don't know, build the relationship with him and adapt. And I think they've gone about it wrong way. But it might pick up. You don't know. I was impressed.
All right, matey. Well, I'm glad I think that's a thumbs up from both of us, which is good to see. So at least they can still do the odd good episode, even though, like I said, we are in turbulent times in Doctor Who, and I honestly, I think next year, I really keep saying this, I think it's going to be.
Well, I think it'd be a good way to bow out.
I think so. I think it's pretty good innings.
I think
it's not bad.
He gets 2 seasons.
20 years, a brand new Doctor Who, 20 years after the. Come on, that's not bad.
I mean, and how they finish it off, obviously, there's some big bad.
Well, they'd have to leave it. They'd have to leave it sort of open so that.
Well, it finishes where he defeats some big bad in season 2 at the end, and he leaves and he regenerates.
It just fades out, and then we never see it.
When it regenerates, there's just a big question mark. And that's
or you maybe the regeneration energy starting to, and then it just fades out or something. I'd love that. That would be really cool. And then
bury it for 10 years.
And then you've seen him like after. I hope they do it that way.
Fresh ideas 10 years down the line.
Last question. Do you want them to keep plodding on with this, or do you think it's time for it to rest? I think.
I think the strategy is. I think they've got Tennant on a returner.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. That's why I've got 2 of them. I know we've had the explanation why they split up.
Yeah, but that's cheap, though, isn't it? The whole thing
about
Doctor
Who is. But if
I keep going back to old Doctors, he's already come back about 3 times.
Yeah, but they can, I don't know, I suppose, that, look, there's another $1 million, we want you to run a season, and he's going to go, all right, $1.5 million.
Oh, go on then. No, so I'll go. I'll give me another 100,000. I'll be back for 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I think if they're going to finish it next year, if he does finish next year, I think that if he defeats the bad, he's in a bad condition, he regenerates.
But we don't see the new regeneration.
But you don't see it, and you just have a big question mark coming back soon.
And then come back.
The Doctor will be back eventually or something,
In time, in
time, The Doctor's back in time, and then they bring him back 10 years later.
With new people and a different, brilliant.
Yeah, and then you bring in that scene from season 2, and then just add the new guy to the regeneration.
Yeah, they could easily do that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, well, look, we've got 10 minutes on Zoom before we. So, any quick news? Any other quick news before we shoot off to the folks of the week?
No, that's it. Nothing much to report. No.
Acolyte's not that far away. I'm looking forward to that. It's already been. I'm going to be open-minded for that, but I do like a bit of Star Wars. So,
do you want to switch off and come back?
No, I think 10 minutes will cover it. I think 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right. Let's go into our focus of the week. Here we go.
Right.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
Alright, so this week we are reviewing a film which Martin recommended, and it was a film called
oh, come on, just be truthful.
Alright. Atlantis, the Lost Continent was a film which really didn't strike me as particularly science fiction. I think that's partly why I didn't get into it.
Science fiction.
Well, yeah, alright, but basically it was. I did watch it on Sunday.
I applaud you for that.
And so basically, it was this Greek fisherman who, I think was it his dad with him, or was it an uncle or something? And they find this princess.
With him, yeah.
They find this princess who, and she's got a really bad attitude. She says that he's smelly and everything, and she wants to go back home. And he's sort of like, oh, I will help you. And eventually, he decides to take her back home to Atlantis, which she sort of like knows where it is, and And eventually they go there, and the princess, then she sees her people, and they don't like him, and then they arrest him, and then he manages to charm his way out of being a slave, and then the island sinks. The end. That's what I got from it. Come on, Master.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed you didn't bring him when they were in the boat. The submarine turns up.
Oh, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah, you know, the submarine turns up, and then when he gets to Atlantis, which is highly advanced, a mix of Rome and crazy
Greek. Yeah, it was a mix of cultures, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they were.
I mean, I did like the intro. The intro was good because it had about things like the pyramids and the Mayan pyramids.
Well, that's what
no. Yeah, okay, all right, okay. I'm being very, very
genetic engineering here. With monsters.
We didn't see any monsters.
Well, they did to turn people into like goat people, didn't they?
Yeah, I suppose.
When they were all like mines, they were all like that mad scientist to get an animal and bombed it with them, and they become.
You mean Gum, that mad scientist? Are they from the?
Yeah, well, they were doing him, and then there was the death ray machine.
Do you know what? I was doing. I was doing some Photoshop stuff at the same time. So maybe
really?
Well, maybe that's why I didn't get it. I did try. I'd sat here for it was at 1 hour 30 minutes exactly, and I put it on a Sunday morning about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, right. Okay.
I don't think I'd have been able to watch that.
Well, no, I know. I did. I thought to myself, look, I'm committed to this show, and this is your recommendation.
Hang on.
Amazon. Right, Marty's just disappearing. So while we look at Pac-Man, is Pac-Man going to win against the ghosts? Here we go. He said hello. We're going to keep this all in. There's the cherries. Look at the cherries there. Look at that. That's good, isn't it? No, Pac-Man didn't get the cherries. Oh, he got. Oh,
yeah, give us a minute. I've got a package.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. Look, yeah. All right. So look, let's talk about this film while Martin is otherwise unavailable. Has anybody seen it? I will give you the full description of this film on the Internet Movie Database. It says, "Welcome to Atlantis, where royal guardsmen wear uniforms that could easily be from the wardrobes of Ming the Merciless, and some unfortunate slaves are turned into bovine-headed beasts." That's one review. So what do I think about this film? I didn't like it very much, as Martin has probably already ascertained from my initial description of it. I didn't really get. It didn't feel very science fiction-y to me. It was. The thing is, right, it was made by George Powell, and of course George Powell, I think he did The Time Machine, which I loved, the original one, and of course he did War of the Worlds. But those two are much more properly science fiction based than this. The cast were completely forgettable. I didn't know any of them in this film. I did recognise the music in the film. Was whoever did the music was the same person who did the music from The Time Machine, because the music from that was very similar. And yeah, what else did I like about this film? Not much, quite frankly. Let's have a look at some of the critics' reviews. Let's have a look, because it hasn't got a very good review. About the that's not about it. Come on, George Powell has come up with another of his fire-spewing science fiction films in Atlantis, the Lost Continent, which opened at the capital yesterday. Although it doesn't nearly reach the levels of his best of all, Destination Moon, it does have enough trick stuff in it, enough exploding volcanoes and solar heat machines to amuse mildly any adult who's sat there to watch it through like a watch it with a bug-eyed kid. We're trying to review. I'm looking at reviews of your film and trying to find some positive reviews.
Well, it's a good first number one. It's a George Powell movie, right?
I was just saying that.
Look, they had submarines in, right? They had your stereotype villains, right? Don't you remember them with eye patch and robes? I mean, they always have, and the video villain was an egomaniac, right? She was up her ass, right?
Yeah, she was up her ass,
yeah. And he was like this, but he was like gullible and naive. Right, they were doing evil experiments on foreigners, right? People, anybody who landed in Atlantis.
Why does it sound funny the way you're saying that?
They turned them into animal men, didn't they? So foreign people were banned from Atlantis. Right. And then they had submarines. They had submarine, and then they created. They had crystal technology, and they had the death ray.
All right. Okay.
But they had a vicar, and they were the.
Oh, that's right. He was religious, wasn't he? That's it.
And he was also a scientist.
He was high up there.
Yeah, and he said, well, all the insects are leaving and all the birds are leaving.
And he worked out that there was a change coming along, that there was he foresaw the end of Atlantis.
Yeah, because they've been overmining the crystals there, haven't they? And he built his death ray on a pair of wheels, and no doubt wanted to push it around the world. Right?
Well, as you do.
And that ray gun ended up in numerous science fiction films and TV shows.
What did you think of the acting cast of this movie? Because I was a bit underwhelmed by the actors in this movie.
I thought it was all right. Look, I saw this as a kid. I've not seen it in 20 odd years, and I watched it, and I was quite impressed with it. The concept alone is amazing, right?
Yeah.
A modern day version of that Atlantis in the ancient times, with highly advanced technology, it's going to conquer the world. That is a great concept.
Yeah.
You know, and you didn't see it for the magnificence it could.
I didn't get it.
I know it's a shit film, right?
No, I respect your opinion.
But you've got to look at the magnificence.
I tried for 1.5 hours of my Sunday morning. I tried really hard. And I was losing the will to live by about. Oh God! When I watched it, I thought, okay. I thought Martin must have seen this when he was 12. He must have done. And I've seen it.
Amazing memories of it.
I wouldn't have done it if I'd have seen that when I was 12. It would have been. I mean, when I saw when I saw Robinson Crusoe on Mars, which we reviewed, I completely forgot about it, and all I remember when I rewatched it was the monkey eating the space plants, whatever it is, the space sausages.
Yeah.
But I like that. But this I have to say, out of all the films we've actually reviewed over nearly 5 years, I think this is one of the toughest ones I've ever watched. I didn't click with it at all. I just couldn't get into it. What I'm trying
to show you is you've got to look at what could have been the concepts alone.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. I
know it's a shit.
No, but okay. I know.
I don't know the acting cast. I like the villain.
No. I can't even remember him. There wasn't anybody in this film I remember at all. I remember that the princess was really up her ass, and she kept going about the guy stinking a fish. I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah.
And she was saying, "I've got fishy hands" and things like that. I don't know how she got the smelly fishy hands, but there we go. Let me see anything else about it. Let's see if there's anything else.
They used a lot of stock footage from a lot of them Roman movies, didn't they?
Well, see, this is the thing.
And all that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of historical 50s movies, and I thought to myself, that was
last night. What I sent you.
Oh, was it any good?
I watched that. It's still at the bloody cinema. That.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why they haven't. It hasn't been.
And it magically appeared on your screen, did it? That's what happened. It magically appeared.
It's on YouTube. I came across it.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm surprised it's still there. I'm surprised it hasn't been moved.
Well, no. If you're watching it on YouTube, then that's not your fault. That's just that someone's uploaded it and they got
normally shut me down if I put some up.
Well, no. Don't put it on your channel. Don't be dark.
I'm not going to no. Just shut down.
What was the what was the name of the film again?
The what? I forgot now. I sent you someone on John.
No, I know you did, but I can't remember.
It's a guy, Richard Mopan. It's a true story. It's where the origins of James Bond come from. It's really funny. It's an action movie.
Well, I like comedy films.
Of posh people in the war. They're like this. It's really good. I watched it last night. I'm blown away by it.
But I digress. We are talking about Atlantis, the lost continent.
Yes, we are. Yes, sorry.
That's what I apologise. So I'm looking at the cast and I don't recognise anybody. I don't recognise.
Oh yes, I found this in a charity shop. Right?
What?
I don't know what the fuck it is, but do you know what it looks like? That looks like.
It looks like a console in the TARDIS, like a time motor.
No. All right, right. No, but do you know what that looks like?
That.
Well, it's one of them hypno things on the Invaders. You know when they're like hypnotising.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
you think-
yeah.
Don't you
Yes.
think? I found to.
No,
it's
I-
a bit
yeah.
of a challenge.
I
I ain't got a
it's like a
fucking
hypnosis-
clue what it is.
Yeah. the
You know where
hypnosis-
they're like, Michael.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
going to try and do that to me through Zoom? Are you?
No, no.
Are you going to
no.
hypnotise me to like this film and say, give it a 10 out of 10 rating?
No, I'm not.
It's not going to bloody work, mate.
Okay, right. That failed. So I'm going to ask you the big question.
Go
Would
on.
you have this film in your collection?
No.
Right, okay.
And that's unusual for me because I'm sorry, Martin. I'm normally
Even
the
though
way-
George Powell did this film.
George Powell didn't. It's not good. If George Powell had 10 of his clones working on the film at the same time, it wouldn't have saved it for me. I just couldn't get into it.
Okay, so what's the rating?
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, that's
low.
quite. I really, I'm so sorry. But I did all the Photoshop at the weekend though, so I was committed to the film.
Okay, all right. Don't give it a three. I mean, I see the magnificence of what it could have been, but I'm going to give it a 5.
I tell you what though, if they did a remake,
Oh, it'd be superb.
I know I'd be up for that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there
that's
are
why I'd
elements.
give it a
There are
5.
elements. I think it's not part. It's partly its age as well, and just the way it came across. I just didn't click.
And it should have focused more on its science fiction elements.
Yeah, it
as
was.
well.
If it had been more of that, but that, although
Yeah,
it was like
I
it
agree
was
with that.
like slowly hinted, it was much more of a back burner. It felt more like a historic Roman film. It just didn't
Yeah.
feel quite like the genre I'm up to. I can see where you're coming from, Martin, and I
Yes.
do appreciate that you've obviously read, but it didn't click for me, and I'm really sorry. It's one of the lowest ones, and we've only got 1 minute 40 on.
Yes. So bye bye. I will see you all next week.
Next
and
week
thank you
we're
very
going
much.
to review Weird Science, which I've not seen for many a moon, but I think that's going to be funny, and you're going to be up for that. And we're going to leave you with something which Malcolm recommended, was this AI which made this weird song of the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast, which you've obviously heard. It's quite good actually, and it's actually, I don't know how it does it, but we put in some lyrics and it does its own lyrics and all sorts of stuff. So we've not shared it at the end of the show, so we'll do that. So Martin, sorry it's a short one, but we got it.
Yep.
We reviewed it. It's done. It's out there. Mission accomplished for you, and you're welcome, Martin. We will see you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast.
Live long and
Long and
prosper.
prosper.
In the depths of space, where stars ignite to hosting merge with a passion so bright. Michael and Martin, a cosmic pair on the Solo and Sci-Fi podcast. Their views there, exploring the realms of sci-fi's domain, reviewing old classics and what's new in the game, from galaxies afar to worlds unknown. Their voices unite on a journey to throne. With each episode, a view unfolds of space-faring heroes and mysteries untold. They delve into the past with reverence and glee, then warp into the future to see what we'll see. Exploring the realms of sci-fi's domain, reviewing old classics and what's new in the game, from galaxies afar to worlds unknown. On the silver screen to streaming streams, they navigate wormholes and fanciful dreams with humor and insight. They guide the way on the Solo and Sci-Fi podcast, where sci-fi holds sway. Exploring the realms of sci-fi's domain, reviewing old classics and what's new in the game, from galaxies afar to worlds unknown. So join Michael and Martin, take a seat by the sun, for in the vast cosmos there's adventure untold to worlds unknown. On the silver screen to streaming streams, they navigate wormholes and fanciful dreams with humor and insight. they guide the way on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Where sci-fi holds